Hi, and welcome to Coach's Corner, where systems matter and both personal and professional learning and development is beneficial for everyone and essential for some. As always, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. Let's get started.
So for the last one, we're going to talk about being successful.
Yeah.
So my first question is what do you do if you've been banging your head against the wall and it's not insanity? You haven't been doing the same thing over and over, it's like different results. You've been trying, you can't get success. What is your advice to get some kind of success? Because not having success is tough.
Yeah. You just got to keep, you got to keep plugging away. Mm-hmm. Stumble forward with ignorant enthusiasm. Yeah. So I tell people about, this is a true story. I didn't make this up. Yeah. I'll probably make parts of it up because I can't remember the whole doggone story. It happened more than 3 seconds ago. But the reality is that one of the biggest gold finds of all time was somebody who was trying to get this gold for years. And I don't know how many years it was. And they couldn't find I think they call them the mains, the main whatever, the veins, whatever that is. Where all the gold's at, right? And the guy bought them out and moved 3 feet over. Not 30 yards, not 300 yards, not to another country. 3 feet, which is about like this. Yeah. And hit the biggest gold find that the history has ever known. So I look at it and I say, do you need to give up sometimes and start over? Sure you do. Right. But usually, if you keep plugging away, you'll figure it out. And if you're plugging away and you have a system or a checklist that you're going through, that's going to be more helpful than just randomness. Because with randomness, without a system meaning, then you may do that same thing. You say not doing the same thing. You may be doing the exact same thing. Right? It's like I give the analogy all the time to people. Why is it that you have to go touch the stove burner in your house? Yeah, you're laughing. I told you 100 times, right? In your house, and then your neighbor's house, and then your mom's house, and your auntie's house, your papoose house, your papa. Why would you do that? They're all freaking hot. They look different, though. Yeah, but they're all hot. Yeah. Right? So why? Why do we need to do that? Right? Now, it's a great learning lesson eventually when you burnt your hand off, you look like Freddy Krueger. But the reality is that if you're systematized, even in a checklist, that's a simple system. Yeah. Just a checklist, you'd be like, oh, I'm not doing that again. Right. I did that 4 times. But now let's look at the other way. Thomas Edison had iterations. So he didn't just go, okay, I'm going to do this. Oh, that didn't work for the light bulb. So then I'm going to go do something way over here. He did iterations. Right. And so sometimes the iterative process, if that's a word, is it takes a long time. And especially if it's for something special. Yeah. So I think about when I was coaching basketball, 8th grade basketball. It took me 8 years. And I worked at it. Yeah. I mean, hours and hours and hours a night. Not just during the season, but the off season. Yeah. Plays, schematics, skills. I mean, I had it all down to a complete science, but it took 8 years. And I can't remember. I need to look that up too, because I reference that on YouTube a lot and on Quora, which is the 10,000 hours. Yeah. Or Malcolm Gladwell, in the blink of an eye, stuff. Right. So you put 10,000 hours into something, if it's thoughtful. Yeah. And you're taking ownership of it, and you can, plug into mindset, something like that, some sort of cyclical system. Yeah. Probably be pretty good at it. Yeah. And even if you don't have the talent or the art. Yeah. Right? I mean, I could go out and 24/7, 365 play basketball, and I'm never going to be as good as Shaq or, any of those guys. Yeah. But I could still get pretty good, probably. Yeah.
When it comes to success, and that's a broad term because someone's success could look different than yours, so I get that.
Yeah, one man's junk is another man's treasure.
Absolutely. So when it comes to a business owner, I'm going to use the word successful, but I can't think of a better word. Okay. What traits do they have in common with other business owners?
Well, I think a lot of stuff we've talked about. I think most of them, have some sort of a system. Mm-hmm. And whether it's informal or formal, I think, a lot of them care about people. They care about the really good ones care a lot. Yeah. A lot more than you think.
Right.
There's some donkeys out there that are worth several hundreds of millions. But if you look at highly successful people, a lot of them are humble and caring and want to pay it forward and give back and do those things. So as I've said before, I don't watch a lot of TV, but in the morning we'll have the NFL Network on while I'm showering and all that, and they had the Tampa Bay guys. I don't know. Did you hear about this? This guy went to death row, little skinny dude, goes to death row in Florida, 37 years. He didn't do it.
Oh.
Yeah. And so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a lot of the linemen and some other guys, did some special things for him. Right. I think bought him a car, and I don't. They, they're humble. They didn't say exactly what they did. They got him to a game and different things like that. So I think that success breeds success. Mm-hmm. And I think all of those things we talked about, right? Can you negotiate? Do you care? Do you have, sales stuff in you? Have you researched the product enough to where you know it? Do you have it yourself? Do you, can you talk where people can understand?
Right.
Right. The reason I talk in what I call touch points, stories, parables, quotes, is because the best teacher in the world taught like that. I think his name is Jesus.
Yeah.
Right. And so do you remember what he said, and he behooved and behoved and, and Matthew 1 and, all the way, and he's but you remember the story at the well with the lady because it's a good story.
Right.
Right. So I think that's what we're trying to do as entrepreneurs or business people, is to tell a story.
Yeah.
Right. And some of those stories may seem silly, but others of those, because we could say, like we talked about the little scrub smiley face guy. Yeah. It's like, come on, right? Hey, that helps a lot of people to clean stuff like that.
Right.
Or we talked about before, if you're into aesthetics, the umbrella that you stick on a drink or whatever, that's cool. But the straw guy, I'm gonna give that guy a hug and a kiss, man, or that girl, right? Because that just, that saves me a lot of, of my $4 shirts.
Right, absolutely. So with this question, I'm gonna ask it, explain a little bit, and then ask it again.
Yeah, then I probably don't remember.
Yeah. The question is, are business owners born or taught? And so now my little backstory is, so you have two sons, me and your youngest.
Yes.
And I don't tell people what to do or anything like that. I'll just go do the job, even if it is not beneficial.
Yeah.
Versus your other son will tell people what to do.
Yeah.
And direct people, not direct, but whatever.
Yeah.
Just, hey, do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
So then the question is, are they born or are they made?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, but it goes back to the same thing. There's some genetics and DNA in there. Mm-hmm. God gives you something. It's your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
Right? Your mom said the other day, her old girlfriend from 35 years ago sent her a picture. Did you see him?
No.
Little Danelle.
Okay.
And your mom, and she just happened to flukily, if that's a word, find these pictures, and your mom was going, yeah, I was looking at these pictures with my girlfriend, and my kids don't look anything like me, right?
Yeah.
So there's not just the physical characteristics that, obviously my wife didn't cheat on me. You're my kid. We all look, if we put all of the brothers and the 80 boys on our side, we all look the same. Right? It's crazy. So that's a strong physical DNA base, and we've seen that. But there's also the traits where you're not as hyper as I am. Right. You say you can beat me, but you can't. But right. But you do it in a different way. You're the duck. You're competitive, right? But you're like your mom. You're more chilled and whatever until they get you in a competitive sports situation. Yeah. You'll still be chilled. They don't. You're like grandma. Yeah. She'll slice you up and you don't even know it. Right. I'm gonna slice you up and I'm gonna tell you about it the whole way. Right. And so I think that, when you take a look at that and you say, well, here's the genetics and the DNA, well, that's born. But look at all the other things that come with it. There's the environment. That has nothing to do with technically your genetics and DNA. There's circumstances. There's experiences. But in the end, which one's more heavily weighted? I don't know. And I really don't care. Yeah. What I care about is that there's a lot of people that have a lot of talent in certain areas. And there's a lot of business owners that aren't business owners. They should be business owners.
Right.
There's a lot of entrepreneurs that should be entrepreneurs, but they're not.
Right.
Right? There's a lot of people in the New York parks that should be playing basketball in the NBA, and they're not.
Yeah.
And so my question always is why?
Right.
If you have that, that DNA, then was it because you didn't get some of the training and the conditioning and the environment?
Right.
Probably.
Yeah.
But so I think they go hand in glove. I think a lot of times people will say things like, well, is it this or this? And I'm pretty black and white.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of both and versus either or.
Got it. Well, we're closing up, so.
Well, good, man. You've been long-winded.
I know.
Have I been long-winded? Can we turn the camera off?
So as we're closing out, just any final thoughts or final thoughts?
No, but I thought we hit some good nuggets today. Hopefully, people are finding this information to be valuable. The key is how do we get it out to more people?
Right.
That's the key, because as I've said a million times, I don't know if what we're saying is good or not, but it's been good to a lot of people in the past. I would imagine it could be good for a lot of people.
Yeah.
In the future. I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I think I could go and help the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
I think I could go help any business. I think that's how my mind works, right? I can go in and find trouble,
Right.
and I can troubleshoot, even if I don't know about your business.
Yeah.
Because I'll dig enough till I find out enough on how to resolve or solve it.
Yeah.
Because I'm competitive in that way. So whether it's a sports or whether it's an after-school program or K-12 education or all the above, whether it's an entrepreneur, whether it's a business person, whether it's a salesman or woman, whether it's right. I mean, these systems are universal, and we can plug people into those. And I think that's what's going to happen over the next 10, 20, 30 years, that people will start to, go, huh, that makes kind of sense. I go mindset, then I get organized, and then I go do it.
Right. Absolutely. Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
If you need to contact Brett or Coach, please do so on his social media accounts, email, and or text. You can find that information in the description below. Again, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. Thanks, and we hope you enjoyed.
No, so I pull on it, it catches. So again, I pull the thing, the hanger goes in the deal, and noise wakes up my wife, poor gal, and all this stuff.